Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very exciting video. We are taking a look at Bryson's golf swing in 2020 and Bryson's golf swing in 2021, because there are some actually quite big differences that Bryson, it seems, has been working on in his golf swing to actually generate even more power and keep increasing swing speed and ball speed. So let's dive in and let's take a look. First of all, we're going to take a look at Bryson's swing in 2020. This was coming up to a year ago, when just after kind of the first PGA Tour event started coming back after COVID and everything like that. So this is when really Bryson started to hit the scene, hitting the ball super far, and we saw some changes he'd made to his golf swing. So first, let's take a look at down the line. First, here we have Bryson set up with driver. Now, I'm just going to point out the things that we're going to be drawing your attention to that have actually changed and are slightly different in his swing in 2021. I did do a full swing review analysis of Bryson in 2020, so if you want to see that, go back on my channel and check that out. So let's dive in and let's take a look. Let's just play this swing through one time, and then we'll slow it down and take a look. I mean, it is obviously, even in slow motion, it looks like a pretty quick golf swing. Let's take it back to the beginning and let's draw your attention to a few things. So as Bryson takes the club back, notice that left heel does come up off the ground, but not a huge amount, only a little bit it comes up off the ground. And the other thing, as Bryson slowly gets to the top, he's going to start to unwind the lower body and start turning very early before really the club reaches the top of the backswing, and have a huge amount of lag as he starts to swing down, coming into impact. And if we pause it at impact, I mean, it's an incredible impact position. The fact that he keeps his posture and spine angle with such a fast swing speed is pretty incredible. Uses the ground, uses the lower body. You can see how much power is going into the golf ball, and then just swings through and turns through the ball. So now let's take a look at Bryson from a front on angle in 2020, and then we're going to take a look at his swing in 2021. It actually honestly surprised me when I compared these swings from last year to this year, how much of a difference there is, because to the naked eye you wouldn't really see some of these things necessarily. So this is Bryson in 2020, front on, exactly the same tournament. If we play it through once, I mean, obviously, hugely powerful swing. We're seeing a lot of the same things. If we take it back and slow it down, huge wide takeaway. He hinges the wrists very late, but I want to draw your attention, if we pause it at the top, to that left knee. Now the left knee has started to move in a little bit, but this is something I'm going to be drawing your attention to in a moment when we take a look at Bryson's golf swing in 2021. So the left knee has moved in. This allows him to get even more hip rotation, even, a bigger turn and bigger load in the backswing, huge shoulder turn. As he gets to the top, loads that club in at the top, huge lag on the way down, and then releases that all into the golf ball and swings through to the finish and rotates off that left heel. We can see at the end of the golf swing how much that left heel is kind of released. And he actually, even though it looks like to us he's going to break his ankle, he actually does that to release the pressure on his ankle so that it's not kind of jarring against it. Anyway, let's now dive in and take a look at Bryson's swing in 2021. Both of these videos, one of them is from this very last week, and one of them is from I think 2 weeks ago. So super up to date. Now let's take a look. First of all, let's have a look at the front on angle, because we just took a look at that and there are some incredible differences from what we just looked at. First of all, Bryson isn't quite as loaded onto his left side at address. If you go back and take a look at the previous swing, he has a lot of weight and pressure on his left side, and then he shifts that over to his right side. Now, he still does that a little bit, but not quite as much. He doesn't have as much loaded onto his left side. Looks a bit more neutral, and then he shifts the pressure across to his left side. But the main two things we're going to be talking about with this swing. Now, from this angle, I want to pay attention to that left knee as we slowly take it to the top. If we pause it at the top, have a look at how much more that left knee comes in to almost be in line with his right knee. That is a crazy, crazy difference to what we just saw in the previous video. That left knee has moved in so much. Now, Bryson has been seen working with Kyle Berkshire, who is the World Long Drive Championship, and, you know, bombs drives over 400 yards. And there are some things that I saw them working on together to enable Bryson to get even more speed and power, basically. And this is definitely one of them. Having a bigger hip turn, even bigger shoulder turn. If we look at the shoulders there, that is a huge, huge shoulder turn. And this enables him to load even more into the right side, to coil up even more and generate more power. So as he starts to swing down, stamps that foot back down, huge amount of rotation and just brute force to the finish. So now let's take a look at a down the line version, because there's a few other things we need to pay attention to from this angle to understand what's really going on here. So as we take the club to the top, first of all, if we pause it at the top, look at Bryson's left heel. That is, you know, 3 inches probably up off the ground. That is significantly more up off the ground than it was in the previous 2020 version we looked at. It was probably only an inch, you know, now that's really a good 3 inches off the ground, which also we can still see from this angle enables him to get that left knee moving in more, and a bigger shoulder turn, a bigger coil, bigger wind up, bigger everything to load more pressure and more power into the top of the backswing. Now, the other thing we're going to be talking about, let's just play this swing through and take a look. See if you can notice one of the other swing things we're going to be talking about that's different in Bryson's golf swing in 2021. It is such a good slow motion look, this video. So let's take it back to the beginning and let's take a look. So the first thing I want you to pay your attention to is in the previous video, Bryson started turning through in 2020. He didn't have much pause, much kind of at the top of the backswing. Now this is definitely something that Kyle's told him to do. I saw in one of their videos they made together, to actually load for a bit longer at the top of the backswing. This enables the club to reach the top of the backswing here before he then starts to rotate, and then everything comes down and through together. This is definitely something that's really interesting. You know, if we think about someone like Hideki Matsuyama, you know, who's obviously really exaggerated this for a long time, having a huge pause at the top of the backswing, it's definitely something we can see that could create a huge amount of power. Now, there are players like Bryson and Tony Finau who don't have much pause at the top of the backswing and still hit the ball a long way, but it's definitely something that creates more power. And let's just briefly discuss why that is. It creates more power because you're creating more resistance from the ground up. You're coiling up and you're allowing that resistance, that tension to build for longer. The longer you can hold it at the top of the backswing, allow yourself to load, then the more power and the more of those muscles and everything's going to want to unwind faster and uncoil that little bit faster. So this is definitely something I've seen Bryson working on this year. It seems he's been getting that left heel up off the ground a little bit more, allowing that left knee to move in a little bit more from a front on angle, which enables him to basically get a bigger turn in the backswing, and then he's trying to kind of hold that turn for a little bit longer, allow that resistance to really build up in the top of the backswing. So those are the things I've really noticed, the main differences. Let me know if you've noticed anything different in Bryson's golf swing from 2020 to 2021. I think, you know, I love looking at Bryson's swing. There's so much to talk about with it. There's so much that, you know, he does differently to everybody else, and it is incredible what he started to do, driving the ball so far. And you know, I'm very excited to watch him play in 2021 and see how he does in the majors and defending his US Open title as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Give it a like, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one, guys. As always, grip it and rip it.